Hey, this is Asher here from Revenue Journey. Now in this video, I wanted to talk about a particular topic because just this week alone, I saw a post, a LinkedIn post, where there was a sales leader just asking about what are the tools out there and what are the tools out there that needs to be in a sales tech stack. And of course, a lot of people talk about, hey, you need a CRM, you need a sequencer like outreach and all of that. Everything is fine, and I think people were also saying that, hey, you need something like a data provider, so something like this where you can grab the contact details of your potential prospects once you have the domain or accounts. Now what this video wants to prove or wants to share about is that there is a gap in the sales development function. Now today, if you're someone who is managing an SDR team or sales or you manage a bunch of sales reps, there is a gap in your sales development function, and you may not know it as well if you are not on the ground actually finding prospects and prospecting them. So let me tell you what that gap is. Now today, most sales teams would use something like LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Now today, if you're trying to prospect into a company, sure, you can filter out the target companies within Sales Navigator like employee size, industry, location, keywords. And typically, once that is done, you save them as a list. You would then port them into a data provider. You use something like ZoomInfo, Cognizant, Apollo, Seamless, Lusha, whatever that may be. You try to grab their phone numbers or you try to get their email address. But what many people do not know is that there is a gap in the middle right here. And if I can just pull this out here, let's talk what's the gap. Now the gap is that it is missing what we call a subcategory or a context. So what do I mean? Let's take a company as an example. Okay, let's look at Mapal OS. Let's look at their website and see what they do. Alright, so let's look at this company, or rather software company, Mapal OS, for example. Now what do we know? Based on what we see, they are serving the hospitality industry, as they say, a hospitality operating systems. However, if you go one step further and you go deeper, and if you look at the type of industries they serve, you can see that they serve many different types of industries, anywhere from contract catering to hotels to bars and kitchens, quick service restaurants, full service restaurants. Now, and if we click into every one of them, the value proposition for each of these category is actually different. So as a sales rep, when you are prospecting to a particular company, you want to make sure whatever your message to them is relevant. And to do that, you got to understand which category they fall under first. You need to be able to put them into the subcategory. Hospitality, yes, that's the general industry, but you got to bring them down one level and segment them. And I think that's really the context that is missing. So if we look at it, what do we need? Before we even get the data provider to extract the contact information, we got to understand what's their subcategory. And this particular example, we got to be able to bring them, or rather categorize them into contract catering, bars and hotels, bars and kitchen, hotels, quick service restaurants, as well as full service restaurant. Now this is where Clay comes in, and it's really powerful. Why? Because if you go into LinkedIn, let's take 7 Rooms for example, another software company. A company can actually categorize themselves into any kind of categories they want to. Obviously, they are CRM, they are software, but they don't put themselves as software development. They put themselves as hospitality. So with that being said, what we have to do is that we have to use Clay and start to be able to categorize them using AI. So in this particular example, I basically ported in multiple different companies, and some of the filters I used were the general industries: hospitality, food and beverage, restaurants, caterers, hotel and motels. And I just put it as UK as well as the US. So you can see I have a couple of different companies over here. But again, not all of them may fit in the subcategory that we talk about, which is contract catering, bars and kitchen. This is where we use something like Claygen, which is an AI agent within Clay, and they can go into the website and look for certain keywords or certain things. So here I did a very simple prompt to them. I told, in this case, Claygen, which is using the GPT-4o mini model, and I said, you are classification assistant. Your task is to visit the website and accurately categorize the business into one of the following types. So I just used ChatGPT and I said, hey, I have 5 categories. How would you describe what each of these category? And it gave me all these different things, right? Contract catering means that this company provides blah blah blah, bars and kitchen, hotels, quick service restaurant, full service restaurants. And depending on you, if you're a company and you have a very clear outline of what each category is, what the things to look out for in a website, you can put it all in. Because this is just a demo, I'm actually just trying to keep it simple. Now, and at the same time, I also say that do note that some of these websites may be offering a software, a SaaS or software company. In those instances, just return nil. So I gave them a website, and as you can see, the results is pretty accurate. Let's take a look at some examples. Subway, we all know what that company does. Obviously, they are a quick service restaurant. And ChatGPT, or in this case Clayton, is also able to give us a reasoning to tell us why they categorize this as a QSR. Now let's look at what else we have. We've got Black Rife Coffee. It falls under the hospitality industry, but when we really look into it, it's more of an e-commerce website selling coffee. There isn't really a cafe anywhere, at least based on what I see. Let's look at another one. Okay, right? It's a drinks company, beverage company. Sorry, let's look at the website just to get an idea. So again, it wouldn't really fall into our ideal client profile. And let's look at just one last one as an example. Okay, Wingstop, yeah, we all know that. Oh, this is actually pretty cool. Wingstop, we all know is a QSR, but this company, for example, a restaurant. So it doesn't seem like they have multiple locations. It's really fine dining, and they are categorized as a full service restaurant. And last one, let's look at hotels. Yep, pretty much. So in this case, resort, hotel types, it categorizes it accurately as well. Now, obviously, with a more detailed prompt, you can even get more detailed. Sometimes AI may make some mistakes, but that is also why we have the confidence level. If the confidence level is high and above, we can be pretty sure that it got everything right. So this is just an example, right? You can see I'm just running it on 16 rows, and out of these 16 rows, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 companies actually meet our criteria. So that is just one thing to take note. At the end of the day, there is a gap in your prospecting, and if you get your sales rep to go into the website and do it one by one, it actually takes up a lot of their time. What if you could give them a list that is clean, that is targeted, and all they got to do is either to find the contacts or to find more research or to customize their emails or just to call them. In fact, those things can be done as well as we go down steps deeper and deeper. So with that being said, I hope this video really helps everyone out there. Again, especially if you're a sales leader, you're looking after the sales development function, this would be important and interesting for your team. And we make sure that your team only focus on your RI generating activities. Now, if there's something interesting to you and you're curious to find out a little bit more, feel free to contact me or feel free to visit my website, revenue-journey.com. All right, that's all from me. Take care and stay safe.